Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We've got ourselves a Game 7. Home runs, robbed home runs, pitching strategies, and a lot of fun baseball last night. More on the way tonight. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, episode number 738. It's brought to you by SeatGeek, code JohnBoy Postseason. We're going to get you 10% off any tickets of your choice, any event you want to go to at the venue hosting said event. Just go to the app, go to the website, find where you want to go, use code JohnBoy Postseason. You get 10% off. You can use it today, tomorrow, the next day. It goes throughout the postseason. We got Game 7 coming up tonight, Game 6 in the NLCS. We had Game 6 in the ALCS last night, and we got what I think everyone besides Astros fans wanted, a Game 7. Jake, you excited about it?
Astro fans probably would have signed up for the Game 7 after they were down 2-0, so I guess if it's old wishes and new fishes, snitches get pitches. Trev, Davis, I'm doing well. Someone just tagged me in a Mentos Diet Coke video because the guy in the video kind of looks like me. So, just appreciative, I guess. Appreciative that people can bring that to me. And excited for the last day of 2023 with 2 baseball games in one day, Trev.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake. I'm doing okay. You didn't ask me how I was doing, but I'm doing great. I got my Crespi baseball sweatshirt on. Shout out to the boys. Seahouse. Game 7. We don't get them that much, so we got to appreciate today, people. And I don't know if we're going to get another one in the NLCS, but we got one tonight in the ALCS. The thing that I love about this series, it's created a new rivalry in the game. Like, I don't think there was much of a Rangers-Houston rivalry over the last decade or so, or ever, really. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. The cities are close, and you might not like each other a little bit, but like on the baseball field now, we're creating a rivalry. Like Adolis, Garcia, and everybody. It's a great story we're getting here.
It's like a dormant.
This is entertainment.
It's probably dormant. Like, you don't like each other, but you don't have any heat going on, and now it's lit.
This is real.
Adolis, Garcia.
I don't know if like the Rockets, Mavericks, do they play each other? Like Cowboys, Texans, is that a thing? Like. This is something.
You need winning for a rivalry.
Yeah.
And they're starting to get it now. So good for Texas. Dormant. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Which one of you said that?
I said it.
All right, Trev.
These teams should be good for the foreseeable future as well. So like this is like maybe like the beginning of something really special. And I'm excited to get a Game 7 right away.
And that end of the regular season, home field advantage coming into play. Kind of. The Astros stink at home.
Reverse.
Yeah, the reverse. Yeah. So that's something. Let's burn Game 6 and then get into all the fun that it gave us. Jake?
Welcome back to Space City for Game 6 while the Astros, man, they were chiller than a 311 concert as Framber is the color of their energy. And the only thing in between Dusty's plants in the World Series was Nate Dogg Eovaldi as the Rangers would try to regulate after 3 straight losses to save their season. Bottom 1, Michael Jordan Alvarez playing like the GOAT. RBI single, but Eovaldi escapes a jam. And then it's tied up after 1 pitch to Mitch. 1-1 into the 4th. His name is Jonah Heim. Has Houston fans wheezing after his 2-run homer, putting Houston and King Tux back against the wall. It's 3-1 Texas. Houston wants some mo as Dubon hits the sac fly. 3-2 Texas. Incredible fortitude by the Rangers to make it 4-2 as Garver doubles his pleasure. But would it be enough for the Rangers bullpen? Leclerc checks out Singleton with the bases loaded, and then enemy number 1. Adolis Garcia sees himself out. 4-run home run. Eovaldi 6.1, 2 earned runs. Spores, Leclerc, and the Heen Dog get it done as we're playing 7 in the H after Texas wins 9-2 finals.
Woo! How about that? Heaney closing it out. I'd like to start there. I know it's the end of the game, but I love the way Bochy managed the bullpen, and it's crazy because he's known as a really good manager of the bullpen. That's like what he does. But going to Leclerc early. Now, I think, I don't know if he got asked this after the game, that he was going to Leclerc for a 5-out save. Like, I think Chapman was doghouse. I don't want you to pitch. And then when Leclerc is looking like he's going to get in trouble, then Chapman gets up. But they showed a shot earlier on, and Chapman had no intention of warming up. And then I forget what it was, but Leclerc got a base runner on or two or whatever. And then Chapman, because my Twitter feed, it was not like nothing but like Chapman's coming in for the 9th. I'm like, I don't think that's the plan. Jake and I have been desperate, and we've even told Booney to when we chat with him, like, why save your better pitcher for the 9th when the problem is right now? And just hopefully the bats get hot for you, and you don't have to use Chapman in the 9th, or you do, and luckily the bats got hot for them. Adolis Garcia 0 for 4 with 4 Ks while the whole crowd is waving their finger at him in his face. He's Clark Kent, basically, helmet on, helmet off. Helmet on, he looks like Jake. Helmet off, he looks like an NFL running back that has like a neck that goes into his ears. And when his helmet comes off, I'm like, whoa, that's who you are? Insane. He kind of weirds me out how different he is. Anyway, I love the way Bochy, go get your better guy up. Even though he gave up the lead last night, Chapman's scary as shit and not reliable. And hopefully, if you make the competitive move, good things fold your way or whatever, and they did. So I know that that's what he's credited as being really good at doing. It was fun to watch it unfold, in my opinion, the bullpen management by Bochy.
Yeah, and here he doesn't have a lot of guys like that he can really work with or that he seems to trust, but he has been, putting them in the right situations. I believe this was the first victory for the Rangers that Leclerc didn't finish, which is awesome. Like he's just throwing the ball really well. Obviously he gave up the homer to Altuve, but other than that, like to be able to bounce back like this, get a big strike out of our guy Singleton, and then Heaney coming in, at least anyone could have came in at that point, dude. The air was sucked out of the building, 9-2, crazy that happened. But I guess we got to probably go backwards now, back to the future, if you will. Where do you want to start? We start with Framber and the 9 ERA he's posted in the postseason and the things that are going on with him. Is it as simple as guys are having better approaches against him right now, trying to go to the opposite way, especially in that field? You saw the 2 opposite field homers. It's kind of like what you have to do against him. If you try to pull him, you're going to end up beating the ball into the ground. Rangers had a good game plan, and I think that the biggest thing of the game was Mitch Garver answering right away after the Astros got ahead in the first inning. Like that to me is paramount in games like this, must-win games. For the Rangers, it was an elimination game. You answer back first pitch after that, just steal the momentum right back. That's A+ baseball.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Bochy and the bullpen. I think this playoffs, and the Phillies and Texas have been drawing comps. I think the games that the Phillies have gone out and brought their relievers in, the highest leverage earlier moments, we've seen them attack it and win. I think that's been a trend that's been happening around baseball. The other thing that I'm adding to my analytics binder, like Jim, you've been bringing up the cluster innings. Both of those teams can bring a cluster inning at every moment. That I see the sport like going that way more, as we see that 5 spot in the 9th changes the whole tone of the rest of that game and the end of it. Bochy only gets bullpen points because Nathan Eovaldi got him there, though. Like Framber, I mean, those 2 home runs get out by a matter of one more Kyle Tucker arm. Like, so we could be as Framber hasn't been the Framber Valdez we've expected this playoffs, but he's 2 arm lengths away from being like 6 shutty. Nathan Eovaldi ends up being 6.1, 2 earned runs, and he's so playoff Nate is a real thing. He dominates everyone except Yordan Alvarez, who dominates him in a way that you just don't see Major League Baseball players doing. So this has entered an awesome place where we were talking about this a little bit, like the baseball in this series is what you want. Like you've got the Texas Rangers managing and navigating around a clear weakness in their bullpen. You've got like a playoff history guy with Nathan Eovaldi at this point. You have the Houston Astros who, their chess moves around Yordan in that lineup. He gets intentionally walked with a runner on first. Like, think about where we're at with analytics. Like, that's a sin of all sins, right? Unless the guy is 10 for 15 against Eovaldi? Like,
he broke analytics. I love that.
The baseball that's going on in this game with 2 legendary managers and 2 really good teams last night was awesome.
It was. I'm looking at Framber's playoff log right now. He's 12 innings pitched, 12 earned runs.
Yeah, he didn't have a great second half of the season, I believe. I think it was like a near just under 5 ERA, 4.7 or something like that. And his sinker got smacked all year. It's like the highest slugging that he had on his sinker. But people just look a little more comfortable. I don't know. Maybe you run into a team that's not scared of the curveball and they can lay off it, and then the sinker becomes a little more feastable. Although they got a lot of hits on the curve yesterday.
He still had a positive. I mean, he had a 10 and a 9 run value on his sinker and his curveball this year. So they must have been extremely good in the first half, and then taking a few steps back in the second half. But yeah, I think it might be approach. But yeah, he doesn't look as dominant, obviously, as we've seen him look in the years past. And the Rangers have taken advantage of it twice now.
Heim homered on a changeup, and then Tavares, Garver, Lowe all singled on a curveball, and Garver homered on a sinker. So mixed bag. The homers were changeup, sinker, not curve.
Oh,
Eovaldi's awesome. Spores gets pulled earlier than you thought, especially if you were thinking it was going to be Spores, Chapman, Leclerc, like the conventional. When he walks out there and you're like, whoa, okay. And then he goes to, I thought you were trying to erase Chapman by letting him go. And then you bring in Leclerc, and then you're like, oh, shit, 5-out save. And then offense comes through. Adolis Garcia. Line drive. Crazy shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge story in this game. I mean, that is like, if you were to write a script, this is an entertaining ending to the game. You get the guy getting his just booed, and give credit to the Houston fans because they showed up, they're standing up, they're booing, like they came to play. And Adolis was feeling it. 4 Ks, his first 4 at bats, even gets to face Abreu, strikes out against them. I thought that was awesome to be able to see that. But then, Stanek, man, makes a mistake. Adolis crushes the ball. All of a sudden, the game's done. And he gets his revenge. I mean, that's just like, if you're a baseball player, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better if you're playing in an 18-2 game and you strike out 4 times. In the last at bat, you get a hit. You're feeling good about yourself. We're talking an elimination game. You K 4 times because the other fan base absolutely hates you because you incited the brawl the game before. And then you get to come up and ice the game and shut everybody up. There's nothing better than that. There isn't.
I think you want to talk about Abreu and the suspension and all that? Or is there anything else of this game, Jake, that you want to chat about?
I got a lot in this game still,
yeah.
So we can get there. Mitch Garver, like you mentioned, with the tying home run. He has the RBI double. Your Twins, Trev. He was traded over in the IKF trade. Another thing I'm adding to my analytics binder, every team remaining either has multiple catchers that they believe in for different reasons. Mitch Garver DH'd in this game. Mitch Garver was the designated hitter in this game that they have as their backup catcher, and also Maul's lefties. On the other side, Maldonado and Diaz. You can go around and do all that later. But him, in the middle of that lineup, 5-hole with a huge day, one of the differences in this game. And that Rangers bullpen, Jim, I know you touched upon it quick, but Spores, he gets the double play ball by Brantley, which I mean, that's a massive moment of that game. If that doesn't happen, what are we talking about? We're probably saying, LOL, Texas bullpen, Houston goes back. And then that Singleton at bat just needs to be talked about again because it's a full count, pinch hitting, 2 foul balls. Like, it's as intense as pitching and at bats get. I mean, that feels like the ball game there. And something that gets lost, I think the insurance run that Texas got, because 3-2, 4-2 feels a lot different. I think when you're Leclerc and you're on the mound pitching in that 8th inning, Evan Carter reaches on an infield single, which Pena was still out there, and by God, he made an awesome effort on it. Evan Carter, with his speed, beats it out, steals second after Abreu strikes out Garcia. Like, you're talking about the script and everything we wanted. Like, originally Garcia's script was 0 for 4, 4 Ks, and you got punched out by Abreu to end it. Where, if Singleton puts one into the seats, we're talking about that and how sick these Astros are. Instead, they get the insurance run. Carter steals off Maldonado. Like, how rare have we said that in a postseason? And then the rest of the game happened. So this was, 9-2. If you're listening to this now or you're opening up the box score, it was not that. There was a lot of like, this was lining up to be another Houston like Game 6 Altuve walk-off versus Chapman.
Yes,
and that did not happen.
Chapman couldn't pitch. I mean, I don't know if Bochy answered his postgame, but if he says, I was going to bring Chapman in, well, then they would have lost. So I'm glad that they scored those runs. And Heaney comes in with a big lead.
4-pitch Heaney.
I want to go back to Garver a little bit. Obviously, a big game for him in the postseason. Guess his career OPS, both of yous.
802.
803.
825.
Nice.
Your backup catcher that has turned into your DH in the middle of your lineup. But, he's been a good hitter. Last year in Texas, I think he had somewhere right around a 700 OPS. So, they haven't got the taste of a good hitting Mitch Garver. We saw it in Minnesota, and we're seeing it again. This guy's like a real big student of the game, student of his swing type guy. And you can see, his mechanics are great. He's making money for himself, dude. I love that. Like, showing up in these big moments, he's in the fabric of the organization now. He's in a very good situation. I'm glad that he's getting some shine and he's getting some play and all of that, man, because he's a good dude. The Singleton at bat. Do you guys have a problem with that? You take Pena out, who, we're talking about World Series MVP last year. He's been pinch hit for a couple different times now in the postseason. You still had McCormick. You still had Yanier Diaz on the bench. You go with Singleton. Is it strictly because lefty-righty and he walked against Leclerc the time before, the at-bat before? I mean, it's an interesting decision for Dusty right there.
I don't have a major problem with it, but Astros fans might. But I think you're to quote Yogi Berra, trying to induce deja vu all over again. Okay, I
gotta get a bat.
I had to face this guy yesterday. He didn't chase any pitch outside the zone, and then it led to a walk-off homer. So a little face your fears for Leclerc. Singleton puts together a really good at-bat, fouls a bunch back. I thought, if the Rangers don't go on to score a ton and then Leclerc can't finish the 9th inning, you go back to that Singleton at-bat and you say, well, he drove the pitch count up a ton. The slider up top was kind of like a nice pitch that Leclerc has to throw, but I don't have a problem with it, I guess, but I'm not a diehard Astros fan that knows all of it.
That pitch is so tough on a hitter. The backup slider, gyro slider. They're supposed to come down, and really Singleton there is seeing that pitch up and saying, okay, I got to lay off that. But then he's like, oh, it's a slider. And so you see him kind of, he wasn't on time with it, but he puts the barrel where a slider's supposed to go, a little bit of depth there. And, sometimes those things just stay up and they spin, and they're mistake pitches. They are. But dang, it's tough. Those are some of the toughest sliders when they just keep backing up like that, man. So I feel for old Singleton because he did put up a good at bat, but the results, not what they wanted.
Abreu
Mitch Garver, Silver Slugger.
Abreu is appealing his suspension of 2 games. I think like right now he might be out for game 7. Not sure he's part of the plan anyway after pitching twice in a row.
That's so fucking stupid, dude.
And then if he doesn't win his appeal,
Off day, so they would.
What?
There's an off day, so it's not back-to-back days pitching.
Yeah, if he doesn't win his, still don't think he's part of game 7 plan.
Abreu?
Yes, I think he's very much a
Think
part
so?
of it.
He's their number 1 reliever.
Hey,
Their starter can go pretty deep, and then you could go.
why did he get suspended 2 games? For what? Do they have some damning evidence that it was on purpose?
Well, I
that
think the
nobody knows
rule
about, or
is
what?
that if you get ejected from the game, this is attached, right? So I think it's an automatic attachment. And I think they said it on the broadcast yesterday. Garcia, as Bochy calls him, Dolly. I didn't know that. Dolly.
Like that.
Goats the umpires into this. Not on purpose. He was just naturally upset that he got hit after homering. But, I mean, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
What
dude.
if what if batters just start, I said this in the breakdown that I made about it. What if batters just start screaming like, he fucking told me he was going to do that. Fuck this guy. And then the umps are like, shit, okay, that was on purpose. So you're out. And then you're spending 2 games. It's a good strategy. Let's start faking intent.
I am on the camp that if anybody should have been thrown out, it should have been Garcia. He incited the whole thing.
He should have been like, yes, I agree that when all that happened, the fact that he didn't is wild.
He got tossed, right? He got tossed, but he didn't.
Yes, he
receive
did.
A suspension.
He did, but he doesn't get the automatic suspension.
Because the pitcher has the intent and the intent.
Right? If
People are on our social media, my take is it wasn't intentional whatsoever. You and I went back and forth about a little bit, Jake, but people are on the internet are 100% positive it was intentional. I'm like, okay, you guys, I guess, know more than I do.
just think it's a conversation. I think a lot of times you can say 100% no, what are you doing? This one has some inklings, but if you're 100% either way, you're wrong.
The situation is not the right situation to hit somebody.
There's 2 outs, no one on base.
No, there's a guy on first base.
I know if there was 2 outs and no one on base, I think it's a
maybe.
conversation, maybe. But 1 guy on and no outs, you're just being a bad teammate if you're intentionally hitting the batter. Like, that's just putting your team in a bad spot.
Jake has like a conspiracy theory, like they all did it to fire the boys up and to ice Leclerc and do all this stuff. And I'm like, come on, man. That's like,
you're an absolute
you don't have enough
fool.
time to think about that.
You have to present both sides of the conversation, which you just said the whole internet thinks it's intentional. There's a little smoke there.
You are the internet.
I said if I had to put money on it, I would have said no, it wasn't. But you weren't listening at that point.
I'm getting crushed. Like people are mad that I said Altuve is a good person and that I said that Abreu didn't hit Adolis Garcia.
See Altuve go up to Singleton after his home run.
He's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on record for like 4 years. People said, who's your favorite baseball player? It's not a Yankee. I'd say Altuve. Nonstop. So I don't know what the appeal is going to do, but
if he misses any postseason games, it's so stupid.
Well, he's going to, because I think he's going to miss today because they are appealing.
Is like it happening right now?
I think so.
They said whenever he appealed, they said it'll be heard within 48 hours.
Postseason suspension appeals must be heard within 48 hours per the CBA. So they're either leaving it at 2, which means he would miss this and then game 1 of the World Series if they advance. If they reduce it to 1, I think it has to be this game. So that would be one of the storylines. And if they reduce it to 0, good job, MLB. You created some fake drama. Let's go.
Kind of like that.
But no chance they do that.
It's being heard right now, so we'll see what they say. Anyway, you got Scherzer going versus
Javier,
Cristian Javier. Scherzer gonna have the shortest leash ever. You have to. I know that and then it's a bullpen game, basically. The nice thing is that they're all rested over on Texas. They only used 2 relievers yesterday. The bad thing is that's a lot of guys to rely on. So, I mean, if Scherzer can get you 1 time through the batting order,
Is there any chance that we see Montgomery today? When did he pitch? There was an off day. There's been
1,000% IMO.
He's going to be in the bullpen. This is I think the third day. Maybe he's good for 20 pitches.
He pitched on October 20th, so 21st down, 22nd down. This would be on 3 days rest.
This would be his throw day, right?
Yeah,
so it'd be a relief.
He's got it. It's all hands on deck right now to get to the World Series. I'm just curious,
hey, Jordan,
if they're like, man, you're at the end of what we need, or if, hey, you're part of the game plan.
Hey, Monty.
Game 1 wouldn't be till Friday anyway.
Get ready to face Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, that might be it. That might be it.
That's it. Texas doesn't have a lot of other options. It's Scherzer, Dunning. Is Heaney back in play?
No.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
I mean,
pitches last
Jim, when you talk about Scherzer having a short leash, let's say it's 2. Let's say it's 2 innings. How are you covering the other 7?
Well, I think it's one time through, whatever that is.
So let's say that's 2 innings. That's a couple runners on, but he survives. To cover 7 innings with...
We'll work backwards. You got Leclerc, Chapman, Spores.
Do you want to call that 3 innings or
Call it 3 for
this? Let's call it 3.
Then who? Then
so you need
Smith.
4 innings. So a Will Smith inning.
Will Smith probably get out of an inning and start one, or for a
This
lane.
is MLB.com has an article out, and they ask how many outs will Max Scherzer record. There's 3 guys, and I love all the answers because they're so different because nobody fucking knows. Mike Petriello, 13. David Adler, 18. And I'm going to mess this one up. Hold on. Manny Randhawa, says 7.
Rocky's guy.
Nice.
So nobody knows, man.
Of course nobody knows.
Max Scherzer.
But the question is, what can they do? How short can Scherzer go? All right,
he could go 5 innings if this guy comes out and does this.
How much can they cover, with that Bochy's isn't going into his, if you go to Chris Stratton for an inning, I think that's okay. Scherzer lasted 1. Or
Stratton can get you an inning.
Yes.
But I think Max he can get 5 innings of bullpen work that he's comfortable with, and then you might have to dip into the Monties, or Dane Dunning might have to eat a couple innings to get you there.
Leclerc might go 2 or 5 outs.
Leclerc is in play 100%.
But even more than 1 inning, because he was supposed to go 5 outs last night. He ends up only throwing 16 pitches. That's pretty nice for them.
Yeah, it's huge.
So he's probably got 30 pitches available from him. So call that 5 outs. You bring in Chapman to get the last lefty with no one on, or I don't know what the fuck you do. Spores. So let's say they got to get 4 innings out of Scherzer / Dunning / Heaney, before they go to their other guys.
Don Gray's there too.
And if Monty's going to give you the Jordan lane to end an inning,
love that.
That's really exciting. I don't love it because he's not a reliever. You got to really fucking come out firing on the inside half of the plate.
You might love that. What if Monty comes out just 100 on his hands? Verlander on the other side, not in play because the Astros have enough. They have a bullpen they trust, and they have enough guys. I doubt we see Verlander strap it up and go sit in the bullpen.
Oh, you'll see the spikes on, bro.
Just for fun.
You'll see him walk out there. But the Astros,
just to get an ovation.
Probably
that.
During the 3rd inning.
The Astros did use 5 relievers last night. Presley's available probably for 2. And he's so fucking good. It's crazy. Hunter Brown's available for a bunch of pitches. Yeah. He's probably, is he going to, if Javier's in trouble, is he your first guy?
The long guy, yeah.
Urquidy is 1 day off from his regular stuff, so they might lean him
They have a lot
over
of pitching.
Brown. They've got options. It is going to be interesting. I mean, they went to their good pen yesterday. They went to Neris. They went to Abreu, who he might be out. Neris escapes barely.
Yeah.
If that ball's a little more down the line, we're saying they got to Neris yesterday. One of the better celebrations you'll ever see on a baseball field. Need Joes to start doing that in the warehouse.
Sarcasm, or
a little of both.
One of the worst celebrations. That was almost
I got hurt a little bit.
I was embarrassed for him.
It was 4 celebrations in one.
Majority of Twitter had the same reaction. Dude, all right.
I did 4 things that
You did not fire me up.
Seen.
Like that was.
I'm not trying to fire you up.
Oh no, I was impersonating
doing.
his teammates.
Did you see the Bochy celebration yet?
I haven't. No,
oh,
I was watching it, but then no one posted it, and then it was just slow. I love it.
He cracked a little smile.
Bochy's awesome, but yeah, Neris, that was. You got to work on that. You can do one thing, you know.
He did 4 things.
You falling to the ground, slapping the ground, and then not having enough and spiking the ball. Whoa, dude. Too many things.
I got some stats for you guys.
All right.
Because we're talking about the Rangers pitching. I mean, I'd assume we all agree that the Astros are in better shape with their pitching than the Rangers.
Yeah.
And we're thinking that the Rangers are going to have to score some runs tonight to get this victory. But the Astros at home in these 3 games are slashing 177, 259, 281. They have 3 homers. They're 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Like, they just haven't hit at home. I don't know what is going on. So maybe they don't have to score 9 runs. Maybe Scherzer goes 5 innings. Dude.
Who knows? Outfield play. That's what's going to determine this game.
Okay.
Every ball is hit to the track. I mean, you get like every home run is almost robbable.
Yeah,
then there's home runs that are robbed. Then there's like every at bat, Altuve puts a charge into one. It's either over the fence or on the warning track. I mean, one botched play on the track or one home run robbery. Like, I feel like the game's being played on the warning track at times.
A homer's going to decide the game for sure. Whether it's somebody hitting a big, like a grand slam or a 3-run homer or a late solo homer, like a homer is going to decide this. That's just how it's gone in the series and in the playoffs so far.
Maybe into the glove, flinged up home run. Opposite of robbing
into the bullpen.
Guiding a home run.
I'll bet on that.
Okay.
Abreu's in the bullpen, takes it out of Tavares's glove.
And they fight. That's a good. Bench is clear tonight. What's the cap on that? What's the line on that? Is that like a plus
Game
200 or is
bench is clear? No way.
Yeah. Yes way for sure. If Adolis Garcia gets one up and in first at bat, benches are clearing, bro. They are. Right away. Maldonado might do it.
There's nobody that thinks they're not valuable enough in a Game 7 to get ejected.
Well, it would be
Eovaldi.
All the IL guys.
Yeah.
Bench players.
Ooh, Eovaldi comes
like there's
back
not
tonight
even
for
there's not like a there's not like a Stubbs. Oh, Hedges could get ejected.
Hedges is the network's camera person. Like, you know how they have Taylor Swift cam and they had Johnny Manziel cam? Fox is running
Hedges cam.
They're getting his reactions.
Every single time something happens, the replay of the dugout is a zoom in on Hedges' face. He gives them good reactions, but it's almost like, okay. Every time.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right, you want to talk about DraftKings and then the other game a little bit?
Sure do, because I wanted to. It gets overlooked. Our guy Adolis, Stoli, like that nickname. Never seen a player really try to hit a home run for 5 at-bats. And he got one after not getting one. Treated me well at the DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you bet $5 on baseball, you will get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code TALKIN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. Only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with code TALKIN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boo Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/baseball for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Your D-backs, Jake.
Oh.
They're gonna
2 games today. 2:30 Eastern, 4:30 Eastern. Is that what it is?
No, that's West Coast.
They're gonna force it?
5 p.m.
That's what I meant.
5:07 Eastern. Snakes, Phillies. Love that for my Snakes. Keep those Philly people just a little less rowdy. The happy hour.
Yeah, they're not going to be there. Are you kidding me?
And then, Game 7 with the 8 o'clock slate. So big afternoon for baseball. I think we're double streaming. I think we're just going to turn the cameras on and be there for it. Last day of the season with 2 baseball games. And, Merrill Kelly coming back against it. He looked good outside of the 2 solo home runs to the Monsters on the Phillies. And Nola, who has been incredible this postseason, 3-0, 0.96 ERA. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be the bend and don't break that we've seen in every playoff game. Like, if the Snakes get on the board first, it's going to be like a massive exhale. Like, okay, we're in this shit. Let's go. If one of the big boys on Philly sends one to the bleachers early and that place starts going bonkers, I don't know. Like, it's a death trap.
It's a suicide rap. You gotta get
It's going to be tough for the Snakes, but like I mentioned before, it's all about this. Win Game 6. No one knows what's going to happen in Game 7. Game 7s are wild.
Biff
I don't know
knows.
how you get past tonight, though. Merrill Kelly's going to have to do something really, really special. Somebody's going to have to hit a big 3-run homer. It's because the Phillies are going to get there. Every time I say that, though, they don't get theirs. So I'm excited for a good ball game either way. That's it. Thanks to me. Snaps for me.
Hope you guys are excited as well.
Snakes with their good bullpen.
We recording tonight after the game?
So
I might go home and nap beforehand.
Yes, tonight is the night, people.
Max Scherzer.
We might have a World Series tonight.
Jake sucks.
Max Scherzer, 2.2 innings. Monty, 1.2.
1.2.
Whoa.
whoa.
I think Scherzer looks better
Game
than
7's
people
not
are giving him credit for. This is freaking Max Scherzer, people. Like, that's
Started fine
respect on
last
that,
time,
man.
just no one to get him out.
Pitched a Game 7 in Houston before. People forget.